welcome to my YouTube channel, Who is Snoop? Bringing y'all all the way down here to Dallas, Texas with me. As you guys know, we have franchised our Esco brand, myself as well as my business partner, the rapper 2 Chainz. And so we're down here with our Esco franchisee, Epiphany Fuller, looking at some locations for her Dallas location. So this is a location that they said was a second generation restaurant. I was telling them from my experience, it's not, because there's no kitchen here. So generally, if you have anything that's a second generation anything, that means you can kind of go in there and really not have to do much except for cosmetic work. Yesterday we saw a space that was just pretty much just an open shell. I had estimated to her that she'd probably have to put about $200,000 into that space to bring it up to looking like a restaurant. Probably about 150 just to make it look like a restaurant, and then about another 50,000 for the decor elements that would make it look like an Esco bar. With this location, she's pretty much going to be in the same situation. There's no vent hood here for the kitchen. There is a walk-in though, so that's good. There's some plumbing that's already been done, so that's good. They should be able to kind of just pull from some different areas. So that will make the plumbing expense a little bit cheaper. But, you know, we'll see, guys. We'll see which one she chooses. But y'all make sure y'all keep following me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can check out when my episodes drop every other week. And make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at WhoIsSnoop.
It was a strong...
Hey, wait, they're like Chinese restaurant?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, like national. But they've kind of shrunk recently, so they were 15, their term was 15 years. They basically went through the 15 years. They were doing about 2 million in sales here, which for them is pretty solid. And they basically had to, probably 5 years ago, I think they restructured due to bankruptcy. And so they consolidated a bunch of locations, this being one, because there's another payway not far down on maybe Coit or Spring Valley. And then, so payway, and then we had T-Mobile in the middle. And so the landlord, not really being a true landlord, he just kind of owned, you know, fully these properties. He hired another group and they didn't get much done. Then he hired us. He put some money into it. Payway stripped the property of all the equipment, the vent hood, you know, stuff that typically would be a fixture.
Oh, they took the vent hood out?
Well, I mean, you still have the chase. They took the infrastructure. They took the vent hood, and this is...
Oh, because this was the kitchen right here.
Yeah, they have a different... They had if you've ever been to a payway, they kind of have that open concept.
Okay.
Open concept. So it was just an experience. I mean, if I was working with him at that time, everything would have stayed in. And it would have been a true, you know, second-gen restaurant. But you have the grease trap, vent hood, cooler. He's probably put $20K into. They left it in terrible shape. Probably, you know, just kind of pulled out the roof so it was a little easier. Redid the walls, paint. And so as far as, that's just kind of micro. As far as macro, East Plano is experiencing a ton of growth, just kind of from west to east. Across the street, there's $1 billion mixed-use development that Murdad is doing. Centurion American's the name of the company. They do mainly residential subdivisions, but they also do some mixed-use projects, and they're doing like 5 of them across DFW. So it's going to be townhomes, apartments, retail, and you can tell they're already starting right now. And then a group called Fidelis, which is a big landlord, bought kind of the retail along 75. And so there's a lot of vacancy there now, but that's on purpose by design. They're upgrading it, redoing it, remodeling, and so both those two things, you know, the rents are, you know, mid to high 30s is what they're put on the pre-leasing front. Other items I would just note, and probably I talked to the city in February, but there's plans to redo the greenway here that extends all the way past Allen. I believe it goes down to Richardson.
Okay.
So that's, you know, your foot traffic between the mixed use and there, and then obviously the traffic counts here pretty strong. So that's kind of the rundown.
Okay. How long has this space been vacant?
About a year. We've had many groups. I've shown it probably more than any other property. It's just with the construction costs where they are today, a lot of the, a lot of groups, I mean, it's a lot of money out of pocket, and we've since upgraded it recently. So we've had some non-restaurant groups actually, like your national vet groups, emergency care, interested in actually, I was telling Melanie, next door, I don't know if this can be on camera or not, but because we signed an NDA, but I think I can share it with you guys. We just signed a lease about a month ago for the first medical marijuana dispensary retail location in DFW. It's a company called Texas Original. They're one of 3 groups that have the license to distribute here. And so this will be their
So
first.
it's legal here?
Medical.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, but full, beautiful build out. Right now they have pickup locations. So that's
Exactly.
that's kind
Yeah.
of.
They're preferring. I feel like we're gonna get it.
Oh,
So
it's
they get
gonna be a
ready.
huge draw, like big time draw. I mean, it'll be the first. You can look them out there in Houston and Austin, and so we're excited about that. Just the draw that's going to have. They're going to put in a bunch of money to the space, and that's this is the plus. And also,
Does the walk-in work?
from what I know, yeah, there's no electricity right now. As of a year ago, it was fine.
So what happened with the ceiling? Like out here, like,
It was in bad shape when we got it. Like all the tiles were broken up, so he just decided take it. I mean, we can put a little money into that on our end, but based on the build out requirements for any group, he just kind of wanted to keep it a blank slate. Yeah.
so what type of tenant is he looking for?
Based on his experience, he's really only had your national credit tenant. So, I mean, there's some trepidation, just, on, he wants longevity, have someone in your long term, that he doesn't have to worry about having to release it at a later date. But he's fairly flexible, open-minded. It kind of comes down to credit with him.
Yeah. I mean, see, the only thing about this space is like, when you look at like a second generation space, a second generation restaurant,
Sure.
it's not really, you know what I mean? A second generation restaurant,
Partially, yeah. I mean, you save money with the vent hood, at least the infrastructure, the cooler, the grease trap. But no,
But see, I wouldn't even put it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if I was doing this restaurant, it would have been back there somewhere.
Sure.
That whole back area would be the kitchen, So that's a little different. So this
This is the patio.
the patio is nice. I mean, it's some bones. That's kind of, these are the restrooms back here. Let's see what they look like real quick. Two single-star restrooms. Or some landlord work, I mean. Oh, yeah.
I mean, next door, like, we had the electrical put in good working order, upgrades to the HVAC. I mean, he put some money in. He's fine with doing that.
Okay.
You know,
So he's
if it's
willing to work.
improving the property, yeah, I mean, he's already put a bunch of money into it, and we were looking at renovating the outside exterior, you know, putting 70K into kind of just sprucing it up. So he'll put money into it.
So to kind of go back on the last conversation that we had about the things that will you think he'd be acceptable with the hookahs?
If that's the only, I mean, I would say if everything else looks good, then I think he'd be open to it. More so than most. I can't say for certain. He's like a very laid back.
Okay. And what about being open to two?
Be too worried about it.
Okay.
You know, and there's not a ton of liability on his end, you know, and issues, but I don't know what the city's requirements are for that.
So do I need to submit a different another LOI?
So I was going to call him after this,
Okay.
and then we'll talk. He just wanted to kind of get a feel and wanted me to, you know, get more information about you guys and y'all's expansion plans. So you guys, I mean, y'all have how many locations? I looked at the website and I went to Georgia, so I'm familiar with Atlanta.
Yeah, so I'm the franchisor. So we've got 3 locations in Atlanta, and then we've got 4 franchise locations.
And Michigan, did I see one in Michigan?
Here, Marietta, Georgia, Memphis, Tennessee, and Columbus, Ohio.
Very nice. And have you opened up the non-Georgia ones yet?
The Columbus, Ohio one should be opening within the next 4 weeks. They're just waiting on their liquor license. So they're pretty much done and ready to go. Everybody else has secured their location. They're, working on it. We recently franchised like around the end of May, so.
Got it. What are the plans? Like, how many locations you guys?
Well, we want to do 8 this year, 20 by next year, and just kind of continuing to grow that way.
At a pace. What kind of sales do you guys expect?
Well, last year, our 2 ESCO locations did about $9 million.
Wow. It's impressive. Cool. Okay.
And I have another brand too, Remedy Spa Salon Suites.
Oh, nice.
So it's totally different.
That's
Salon
a good
Suites, but
business.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
very
of money up
passive.
front.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
I've done some deals
I love it.
with some salon suites here. And
Yeah.
It's
How are they here? Or is it a lot?
here. It's just you can't. The build out's so much. It's
Yeah.
hard to find a landlord who will do it. And then there's so much competition with like Sola, and
My Salon Suites, and
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, JC is growing pretty rapidly now too.
Dallas is just so competitive. You know,
Yeah.
so you really have to have a niche, and luckily it's so big that you can go 30 miles in any direction. And there's development everywhere.
Yep.
And there's people moving. I think it was the number was like 1,000 people a day from California are moving to Texas.
That's
And,
interesting.
just because of the high taxes.
A lot
Law.
of, yeah.
So
And a lot
that's
of big
New
businesses
Orleans, all of
came.
it.
cheaper.
Yeah, because there's
cheaper
no
real
state
estate.
tax here, right?
No state income
No,
tax.
no federal. No, no state, sorry.
State income tax.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that, you can buy a 2-acre lot with, huge house for $400 a day, up,
Yeah,
north,
yeah.
and then in California it's about $2 million.
Right.
So, I mean, it's, salon suites is a lucrative business for me.
Yeah, it is.
If you know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. It's all about the operators. So yeah, I mean, did Giovanni send you an as-built? I think we had an as-built drawn up at Space. Okay.
I haven't
like
heard-
recently, like a week ago.
Because we asked for a floor plan and stuff. 'cause I have-
Okay.
yeah.
And we hired someone who came out here, and I'm pretty sure
How many square feet is this space?
3,200.
Okay.
And then that's not including the patio out there.
Yeah. So it seemed like he talking a little bit differently than how he was when
Yeah, now I hear, oh yeah, we could do a little. I'm like, what is that all?
He probably,
It's not technically like
he
a
probably
real
really
second
trying to get rid of it now because it don't have no kitchen.
Yeah, okay, we don't already have that.
Yeah, I mean it's damn near similar to the other spot. You know what I mean? It just has walls. You know what I mean?
We are gonna. So this is what I was thinking when I was overthinking this morning. So I wanna stay on Arlington. I want us to put in the LOI now, and I also want us to use the rest of the week to go hard and do a whole brand new search.
Okay.
Like we ain't never been looking for nothing before, and I'm gonna look as well, just so we're making sure we're covering all bases. Because this is a big ass city. Like I feel like it's something out there. And Arlington is the only thing that's really sticking with me because of the people that's out there, even meeting the other guy that owns the wine coffee place. I feel like we could build a good relationship business-wise out there.
You still, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good. And meet people that's in all areas that's going to help promote. Even the owner, didn't he say he had like a news board or something? I feel like we'll have the whole city of Dallas, Plano, Arlington, Richardson, everybody's gonna know about it in that area. Versus out here.
In what area?
Arlington.
Arlington. You still, I know Frisco's kind of far.
Frisco is
but
definitely far.
You still haven't looked in Frisco.
I know, and I don't wanna.
You don't want to.
No.
Why?
We can look. We can look.
Same thing I've said. I wouldn't do this location if it's going to be like really hot with the police, and especially like if our people, the ones that's really going to spend money, aren't going to want to come out here. You're just going to be battling them. And I've been in a situation with a restaurant like that before. It's no fun. You want to be able to focus on the operations of the restaurant and not everything else that's going on around you. So. With knowing that, this would be an easy no for me.
Gotcha.
I like the other one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I like that it's near, the football stadium. It does seem like there's a lot up and coming in that area. Of course, it's not necessarily Dallas, but it also isn't too far from, the city. And then you got the football stadium right there as well. You know what I mean? So,
and I like that there's nothing over there like that.
Yeah.
And we would be the first establishment.
So really just boom.
now I know Steve, the camera guy, once he stops filming, maybe y'all can ask him a little bit about, because he said he lives like 7 minutes from this area.
Okay.
So he might have some input, on this area and bringing something to this location.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Well, y'all keep watching and see which one of these spots Epiphany picks.